You know, sometimes we try to be too nice, and we know somebody's got such negative energy, and we try to be so nice to that negative energy. Don't. Avoid it. Stay away. Disregard it. Why? Because we're encouraging them. You see? We're encouraging them. Just stay away. Disregard it. Walk away. Yes?
Just a very quick question. Having got to spend time with a family member over Christmas who is extremely negative, and we are going to be within that company for 4 days. How do you work around that?
Okay, because I always say family is the most difficult.
Yeah.
You know? Compassion for the unhappy key. Because they're your family, right? And whenever that person starts to be negative, don't buy into it. Change the subject or walk away. Walk away. Now, I've had this with family members when I was studying this science. And you know, there was a group of women. One day we were all sitting together, and I love them all. I tell you, I love them all so much. Great people. But of course, as soon as one person went out of the room, they started gossiping. Now, in the past, I would have done that. And then I just, rather than hurt anybody or say anything or feel superior, I just said, look, forgive me. I'm really tired. They knew. As soon as I walked out of the room, they knew. I just walked away. I didn't say anything. They knew that they were all talking and what they were doing was negative. They got it. They got it. So every time I went into that room with all these people that I really love, they never gossip in front of me. Isn't that great? Oh, how did I do it? Just walk away. I didn't disturb them. I didn't comment on them. I didn't judge them. I just said, I just felt, not for me. I'm tired. I don't want to spend 1 hour listening to it. I prefer to go to bed and read a nice book. In the past I would say, so that's how I approach the subject. And after a while they get to respect you. You know? Respect builds up that when you do that without causing any waves or putting anybody down. It's just not for you. Okay? Good luck, try it. It really does work. It's quite magical. It's really quite magical. So, good question. You see, these scriptures we have to apply to everyday life. Otherwise they're no use. No use to study the 4 locks of keys and not apply it to everyday life. But really you can see how deep, it looks so shallow when you read the 4 lines. But can you see how much is in it? And all of you have gone through these situations. Should I, shouldn't I? It's my family. What key do I apply? And then you study the person. Where is it coming from? Is it coming from a place of attack? Is it coming from a place of pain? This is what you ask. For me now I see most people, now I see, at that time I didn't have so much discrimination, but with the practice you get it. Now I see most people are just so unhappy. So now the compassion key is even more than everything else. And I feel the compassion key works for everything now. But you have to be ready for that compassion key. I have 2 questions, one there and one there. Yes, we'll get her hand and then we'll answer yours. Yes?
I just wondered, in that case, if somebody pursues you and obviously doesn't let you walk away, what do you do then?
You have to break it. You have to say, what you would do, if somebody pursues you and it's taking away your peace, is it just taking away your peace? Okay, then you have to tell them very straight, I'm sorry, it's taking away my peace. And they keep pursuing you, you don't answer the phone, you don't answer the doorbell, you just don't answer, you don't answer your email. You totally disregard it. It's hard to do. Because when I first started yoga, I had a lot of, unfortunately, Catholics against me, thinking yoga was witchcraft. And in the early days, I got a lot of hate mail. You know, but really horrible things. I'm a witch, I'm this and that. And what I did is, I had that key, you see. I read one line, the first time I read one, it made me so upset. They say horrible things about me that weren't true. It just made me so upset. I said, why am I reading it even? So what did I do? I deleted it, but still it was in my mind. The second time I got the hate mail, why even bother to read more than one line? I can see it's already going to say horrible things. If I read it, it's going to be in my mind like a camera, isn't it? It's going to have a photo. Whether I like it or not, it's going to be there. Don't even bother to read it. Delete it. Somebody said, aren't you curious? Curiosity killed the cat. I go, it's the saying, right? No, I'm not curious. I don't even want to read it. And like that, it was really quite nice. Whenever I got all these hate mails, you delete, 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 delete. I don't even read it. You already recognize the names of the person that's going to speak about you. So even just don't even open the email. Just go straight into delete. I remember that's how I used to do it. And when it came through the mail, I can open, bin, right out. I put it in a big rubbish that goes out quick from my house. I don't want that energy in my house. I don't want it even that energy in my home because they don't wish me well. See? So you have to be really quite strong and say no. And the less you read it, then it doesn't affect you because you don't see it. And then you mix with friendliness with the happy, go mix with happy people so you can get distracted. I'll get to you, Tatu. She had the next question. Please.
Yes, thank you.
Helena.
It's actually more of a little bit of a share. I saw the talk on the 4 locks and keys on Vimeo a while ago.
Oh, the one I did?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
I do so. It's different every time, right?
No, I just love the topic and I love these tools. And after I saw it, I really tried to apply it to my situation because I'm right with Juliet here, so I live with these people every day. My mother-in-law is a very, very negative person, and extremely, she's ill, she's mentally ill, bipolar, and a bunch of other problems. And my husband and I both live in the same house with her, and we deal with her every day, take care of her. And my husband's way of approaching her is a little bit different than mine. His way is to try to correct her. When she's being negative, to try to correct her and to educate her. And they, without exception, they end up having tension, she gets hurt, because she feels that she's not good enough, he sort of looks down upon her, etc., etc., and there's always conflict. And after I saw this video on this topic, I decided to, put this into practice. And indeed it works. I really have to say that it works because when I deal with her, she's just as negative as with anybody else or any other situation, but I don't feed it. I don't give it energy. I don't try to correct her. I don't try to teach her positive attitudes or anything. I simply smile and I walk away, and I did that today. Yay. This morning I walked down and she was in a horrible mood and I simply said, "Good morning, I'm going to take a shower," and I smiled and I didn't feed into it. And when I came back out of the shower, she was a sweet little angel. And this is how it works with her. She doesn't give me this conflict.
Because you don't feed it.
Because I don't feed it, exactly. So I have to say that this really is, for me, it's been a lifesaver.
Thank you. It's so nice when you hear other people, because it really, for me too. I was living with very negative people when I had this, when I got this sutra, it changed my entire life. And all those people who were so negative couldn't stand me, loved me so much, and when they were in trouble, I was the first person they called. You see, you can really, with this 4 locks, you can turn people around. It's so amazing. Thank you. For me, that's why Gurudev said, if you just practice this one sutra, it will change your life. It is amazing. Thank you. Tutu, you had something to say.
Yeah, it's very similar to that type of situation, but with my little granddaughter's stepmother. And I had these emails, and I only replied with love. I didn't go with any arguments, nothing, and I had even worse one to follow.
I remember.
Now, this is a new one, only
Okay.
happened last week.
Okay.
Yes, this was, last one was 3 years ago, it carries on. Now I have to face her next week, and I know the same jealousy, which is all jealousy based and insults, trying to separate the love between my granddaughters and me, comes so severely. how do you face it when you do face-to-face? I have the family, children around. I can't simply say, hang on, I go and have a shower. Because I'm visiting the house only for an hour or two. And I know the bombarding will be very hard.
Right. If I remember quite well, the last time you went and you did disregard
That's right.
and you did compassion
Yes.
towards the unhappy.
Yes.
And I think you came back and told me everything was fine.
Yeah.
You managed to keep the peace.
Yes.
Why don't you do the same thing again?
I can do, but now she will be directly asking, attacking and telling and ordering. Now she's gone so far that she's affected all the friends
Well.
around with her emails, all my friends.
Well, then I guess now you have to go into Arjuna's battle. Try it. If it doesn't, and if it becomes a battle, you'll have to go into... You don't want a battle, you don't want
No.
a battle. But if she's disturbing the children, you need to... What is your aim? But to protect the children.
Yes.
You don't go into
Yes.
battle unless you have to
Yes.
protect somebody. Is she harming the children?
Yes.
Or is she harming you?
No, children will suffer. She's not affecting my peace anymore, and that's where the problem is, that she cannot get to me, and
So
that
she's gonna-
annoys me. So it's the little children that get affected.
And have
to
they
me
told
it's
you?
paramount importance that that the children well-being
Yeah.
is there after what they
So I think you just have to take her to the side and say, hey, I need to talk to you now,
yeah,
because enough is enough.
yeah, stop
I'm
it.
trying to adapt, adjust, and accommodate.
This has to
Yeah.
stop
Yeah.
right now.
Well,
Yeah.
she shocked all my friends, telling them what to do with my grandchildren, how to see them, what to buy them, what to do with them, and she's never even met them. Because
Well-
she can't affect me, she goes now further.
Yeah, I think you need to put a stop to it. You need to be very tough and say, enough is enough. Now you just have to go, say, I don't want, but these are my grandchildren, and you can destroy them for life. So I don't want to make this into a battle. But if you want to make this into a battle, I will protect my grandchildren first and foremost. We can do this peacefully or not, up to you. Give her a little bit of a, oh, you know the story about the snake? Do you know the story about the snake? Okay. It's, yes,
Can you just quickly tell me what did you call that battle?
Arjuna's battle. Okay, Arjuna's battle is the living Gita that I told you all to buy. You know, he has to go into battle, and he doesn't want to go into battle. And Lord Krishna, the God, is telling him to go in battle. He said, you're a God, how can you tell me to go into battle? You know, I can't go into the mountains and meditate, you know. And he goes, well, you didn't want the battle. You don't want it. You tried to avoid it for 14 years. You tried and you tried and you tried to avoid it for 14 years. But they don't change. So next thing is you have to protect the righteous. If you don't speak up for the righteous, who is? So the whole of the Bhagavad Gita is how to battle. What's your intention? With what? How to focus on the highest while you're battling. So you're not fighting anyone, you're protecting the righteousness. You're protecting that which is right. Really, when you finish that, you must all read the Gita. You must read the Gita. It's so amazing. And this translation is so easy to understand. So easy to understand. Because it answers all these questions. Yes.
I think there's
And
one...
answer hers in a, yes.
No, I think there's one thing that helps, at least it helped me, because I've had quite extreme people in my life as well, very aggressive, and that when they're attacking, if I can manage to think divine, divine, not go into details, not pick up the rope, because if I pick it up, I'm lost. Yeah, I'm lost. But if I can keep that, very often they sort of, it eases off and they stop.
Yeah. The highest is, think of that all the time, but even Arjuna thought of it all the time. And sometimes in this
I
world,
totally
you
agree.
know, there are such situations, and I know her too well, she will not. She's not that nature. But do look into what Ole says as well, because it could be also now you're tired with so much going on in your life that you have little patience. So make yourself strong before you go there. do a lot of meditation, get yourself very well centered. And then if she attacks, there's two ways. Don't fight back, or just hiss. Which is the story of the snake, which I'm going to tell you. Okay, there was this Swami who was passing this village. And there were the children outside the park, all really sad, sitting around. And the Swami says, "Children, why are you so sad? Why are you not playing in the park like normal children?" "Oh, there's a snake there in the park and we can't play. Already 2 children from the village have died because of this snake and we have nowhere to play." "No, don't worry. I'm a Swami. I can speak to the animals. They listen to me." So he goes and speaks a snake language like Harry Potter. So he goes to the snake. He says, Snake, what are you doing? Why are you torturing these children? Don't you want a better body next time? Don't torture them. "Oh, Swamiji, what can I do? What can I do? I need to get my food." No. You just promise me one thing. For 1 year, here is a mantra. You don't bother those children. Let them play. Okay, don't hurt anyone and don't poison anyone. Okay. So the Swami said, "Okay, I'll come back in 1 year and check on you. You want good karma, don't you?" Yes. "Okay, come back in a year." So 1 year goes by. He comes back. All the children are playing in the garden, laughing and giggling. Where's the snake? They all start giggling, taking stones. "Ah, the snake is over there. He's scared of us." So he goes, "What's happened?" The Swami goes, "Snake. See, the snake is so thin, almost dying." Snake, what's happened to you?" "Swamiji, I've been a really good snake. You told me not to harm anyone. I haven't harmed anyone. I haven't hurt anyone. I kept my promise. But every time I go out and get some food, these children throw stones at me." He said, foolish snake. I told you not to hurt them. I didn't tell you not to hiss. Got it? And that's what when children come, they're bullied in school. My husband used to say when he got bullied, the first thing he used to go is hiss. He said, "Do that to me again, your head is going into the toilet the next time." He never did it. Never got bullied again. He got the reputation, don't go there. Do you know sometimes you just have to hiss? You actually don't have to do anything. People know you're strong, they don't dare bully you. And they say, "Oh, you know what? She forgives everything and does everything." What will they do? Pounce on you. Of course in your heart you forgive everything, but they should know that. Because they don't understand where you are coming from. Do you see the difference? You have to hiss, otherwise you'll get destroyed. Yes?
I was just wondering, why is this happening, and as you change as a person and as you change as a society, why are so many people kicking up against it, With all this aggression and with this grief and playing all these games. I mean, everybody, I think, must be going through it.
Yeah, everybody is.
Yeah.
I don't know why, Liz, I don't know why people avoid this spirituality so much. Something strange in their mind. I just remember once, when I first started on this path, a friend of mine said to me, "Oh, I love what you are doing, but you know what? When I'm old, I'll become more spiritual." Almost as if you become spiritual, you're going to be unhappy. They have this thing that if you become spiritual, you're going to be unhappy. And I go, why would you want to do it when you're old? Why won't you enjoy it now? But she couldn't see because she had a blessed life. Now, isn't it interesting? 3 or 4 years later, that same person got into an awful situation, pain that she never expected that she would have in her life. And she remembered my words. And then she realized she had not practiced spirituality, and she saw other people coming out of their pain, and they didn't. So that seed that I had planted in her, learn your spiritual knowledge will keep you out of pain, made her come to the path of spirituality. And now she's so happy. She's a happy person. So why? I guess sometimes they're just not ready. They have this thing in their mind that, oh, don't be too religious, then you will not enjoy life. All the time you'll be on your own and lonely and this and that. Haven't people told you that?
I felt like that.
Pardon?
I felt like that. I thought I was going to lose my individuality.
In fact, if anything happens, you gain the right to be you. You see, you think, right? You see how it's warped? It's because we've been, it's a warped sense, yeah. Indoctrination. It's indoctrination, absolutely.
From the moment we go to school,
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
around us.
Because it's God is there and you are here.
I don't know why they kick so hard against it. Like,
I don't-
It doesn't interfere with them, or
I don't know. It's threats.
why
It
do they
threatens.
fear? Yeah,
It threatens
fear?
because it's absolutely fear. It's 100% fear because they see the truth in that and they're not doing it themselves. They're not ready to do it. So there's a little bit of anger, frustration, like that girl kicked against me. Do you know, this kind of thing? They're not ready to do it. They see you are doing it. They see something wonderful is happening to you. It's almost threatens the hold over you, the control over you. You know? When you're weak, people have control over you. But when you become spiritually strong, they have no longer any control over you. Hmm? Yes.
You know, there's another really funny thing that triggers this aggression, is vegetarianism. If you don't eat meat, must be something wrong with you.
Oh yeah. It happens all the time. Do you know what? It's the way of the world. Do you know what? Every time I go to a Spanish restaurant in the past, oh, you've been with me many times, you know, and they'll say, oh, you are like a rabbit, all you eat is, you know, lettuce. That's what they say. It's a typical thing they'll say. No ham? As if ham is not meat. No fish? And I said, no ham and no fish. And I go, you know what? I am. I said, I am like a rabbit. And I love green vegetables. Every single time, I tell you, every single time, they'll go out of their way and make me something special. And I said, no, don't worry, I don't want to trouble you. I'll just have salad and some chips. I'm very happy with that. And they will try. They will really try to make me, because you don't, you know, I said, yeah, this is what I am. And so they say, no, I'm a vegetarian, fighting, justify it. I don't bother to justify it anymore. I am, and I'm very happy with it. I said, yeah, I'm very happy being a rabbit. I'm so happy being a vegetarian. And then, and then they'll start to say something about the meat. You won't get strong. I say, I look pretty strong to me. That's it. They don't say anymore. They really don't. But there is.
Silverback gorilla.
Pardon?
Yeah. Silverback gorilla.
Yeah.
Vegetarian.
Yeah, that's right. So strong. Elephant, so strong. Vegetarian. But you know, I never go into debate, huh? Never go into debate. That's the secret. Don't debate with these people. The moment you debate, you've got a war, you've got aggression. You see, their knowledge is from one place. Your knowledge is from a different place. Compassion and understanding that they don't understand where we're coming from. They're in a different energy field, different wavelength. You're never going to join them. So why even bother to go into discussion? You know, I've been invited to many religious debates. You know what I say? I have nothing to debate. It's all divine. Don't ask me to come on the debates on television because I have nothing to debate. I respect the Catholic faith, I respect the Buddhist faith, nothing to debate. And that's what I do. Nothing to debate. I know my truth. Full stop. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. And when you just, that's how you feel, fine. Accept that's how you feel. When they fight against when they resist your growth spiritually, that's the way you think, fine. It's doing me good. It's doing me good. Am I a worse person? Because my husband was the first one to fight with me. What are you doing? I said, am I a better wife or worse wife? Couldn't answer that question. Before I used to get angry with you when there was a war. Now I smile and say, darling, relax. What do you prefer? Do you see? Why are you threatened by me? You should be pleased that I'm working so hard to be a good wife. So I have to go away sometimes because I need to grow. I think you're a real saint for accepting that, because he was. See, you play it differently. Thank you for allowing me to go and do my talks and my retreats. And I used to tell all my yogis, you think I'm the one doing the sacrifice? I love this. My poor husband's at home sitting, and you have these awful canned chicken pies and whatnot. Oh, poor guy. They're horrible. They food, you know. And you know, at least when I'm home, I'll make sure he has some mashed potatoes and some salad and some, because that he was very, in his diet, so different from me. He used to tell everybody, you know, we make a perfect couple. That was his line to all my yogic friends. My wife and I make a perfect couple. I eat all the meat. She eats all the vegetables. And everybody would laugh, and I thought, what a nice way of putting it. Do you know, he taught me a lot in acceptance. That, you know, two people had their own roads, living together 24 hours, but they had their own path. If we can live with our differences in the house 24 hours, you can live with anybody, and you can do anything. He was my best teacher. It was my best teacher, because 24 hours, if you can take, like you, 4 locks and 4 keys all the time. Of course, it gets a little tiring sometimes when you're working with somebody who pulls you down sometimes. So what do you do? Oh, I'm going on a retreat. By the time I come back, he misses me so much. He misses me so much. He's so nice to me for days. Until the next time, you know. And this is how we did it. And it, you know, was a savior. Was what made our marriage so rich in the end, I think. You know, but all of you will go through this in your life with your partners, with your friends. They will struggle with your growth because it's very threatening. It's scary for them. There you're becoming independent. You know, before they could say, don't do that, and you get crying and feeling sorry for yourself. No, don't do that. Yeah, I'm doing it anyway. That's strength. It's scary for somebody else, you know? And so you have to have compassion for them, understand that they kick against it because they're frightened. It's absolutely that fear. Fear of losing control over you, fear of you, you know, leaving them, fear, and you're just all the time. Compassion, love, reassurance, tell them why, and ask the question. You know, my husband used to say to me, I don't know why you talk about death all the time, death, 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 you know? And I say, because that's what's going to happen to all of us. So morbid, he goes. But I kept telling him, we'll go out for dinner, death, this experience, that experience. And when it came to his time, he was so prepared. He knew all about death. He resisted it, but he thanked me. And recently somebody, out of the blue, that Shanti introduced me to, suddenly said to me, you know, you've lost your husband, haven't you? And I said, yeah, how did you know that? And she goes to me, she said, he wants to say thank you so much for everything you taught him. He may not have used it fully on earth, but he's definitely not missing a second of helping people up there. What a lovely message, right? Thank you. Thank you. Don't you think it's such a lovely message? I was just like, wow, out of the blue. And then, and this is the interesting thing, you see, I tell you get signs, you don't even have to ask. You get signs. And then he said, you will know he is there by a white rose. One white rose. So 2 weeks, 3 weeks go by, forget about the white rose. And you know our good friend Chandra? When her husband died and was at the funeral, she had asked me to say a few words at the crematorium. And she brings the coffin in, and she looks at me, and she does this. She doesn't know about the white rose. And she points at the rose over the coffin. One white rose. So I realized my husband was helping Phil to the other side. That was his message. One white rose. So, you know, like, that's why I say you just practice whatever you need to know, whatever signs you need to get, whatever you need to be told, whichever worries your heart. Are you happy? Are you okay in the other world? Just want to know you're okay. Everything will be given to you. Everything. Whatever you need to know will be, you don't even have to ask, it will be given. Any messages you need will be given to you. You don't even have to look for it. And this is why it works, you know. I normally don't tell such personal things, but really I think to tell it is so that you can really get enthused and inspired to work on yourself. Because it is the truth. It is the truth. We're all going to die one day. So let us live so beautifully and so spiritually. And it's not going to be easy because people will kick against us and try to insult us and bring us down. And that's okay. Thank them. You know why? They make you strong.
Mm-hmm.
They really make you, that you practice non-attachment. Practice non-attachment, disregard, but happily, happily. In the beginning it's difficult, not easy. Practice these 4 locks and keys every day. You find the beginning there's a resistance, but in time it becomes so natural. Okay, you'll be really good.
And I think people start calling you selfish when you first change. That happened to me. And you know, you start coming to this and they don't understand what is it, what's the concept, that we don't stand on our heads. And they become kind of jealous because they see your happiness is growing and they start calling you selfish quite easily, that you concentrate too much on yourself and your own happiness. So you have to disregard that as well.
Yeah, you know, people will call you all these things. You just have to in one ear, out the other ear. You know what I always say? I only have one boss. I only have to answer the one. And if I answer to that one, I sleep well at night. I'm peaceful. I'm easeful. If I answer to the world, I can be very confused and very messed up. So just keep my peace and answer to that one. I have one boss. I tell everybody. If you think I'm mad, that's your problem, not mine. I'm happy with my madness. Be happy. People are not happy for you, fine. It's okay. Don't keep. You know the truth. You just have to really know the truth so deeply in your heart that you are never alone. You are never alone. Keep that door to the divine open. That's all Raja Yoga is. Don't shut the door. Know the tools to keep that door wide open, filled with love always, so that they can communicate with you, talk with you. Love is what makes us all sing. Love. Fill your heart with that. And these are only tools to take away the fear, the anger, the agitation, the frustration. Life will bring all those things. It will. You just manage it well. That's all. You just manage it well.